Welcome back, my name is Raptiku. The game is Final Fantasy XVI. Last time, we started a new era, basically. Cid died, we inherited the powers of Mu, and, what is that? Oh. And we inherited the title of Cid. And we also learned that there are powers beyond this world that are interested. Like Typhon. Also, I recorded 14 and 15 back to back, which is why episodes 14 and 15 back to back, which is why I didn't comment on the audio being corrupted, because I didn't know at the time. So yeah, that's fun. Looks like the hideaway, well, it's a lot prettier now.
Look, it's Cid.
Staying long this time?
I mean, going from a dingy cave to lakefront property, hey, that's a glow up in my mind.
There you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sent his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
Oh, so y'all know this is an airship. Wondering if this new board behind, what this new board is behind me, aren't you? All in good time, my first friend. All in good time. That looks like a monster hunting board.
I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
I say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with a state of...
Who is this Vivian Ninetail? Let's see. A scholar and strategist who makes her home in the hideaway, handling every shred of information that comes in from the wider world in order to divine the dispositions of the realm's armies and those who lead them. She offers her insight to Clive, that he might better understand the lay of the land. The moniker Ninetails, of which she herself is fond, was gifted her by her fellow scholars in recognition of her ability to speak at length on almost any subject.
Well, to absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here? Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dhalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even? Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was adequate.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
So basically we're looking at a potential world war situation. Goody. Assuming indeed the twins are all that there is of the world.
Everyone seems so happy to see us. It's good to be home.
I don't know. Perhaps I should just have Blackthorn make me a new one.
So it looks like you survived.
And what can I do for you?
Has it really been 5 years since we left the old place? How time flies.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
We were all waiting to treat Sid to a hero's welcome when Koopa's lot turned up. Not that we knew it was them. They just poured in like a plague of rats, cutting down anyone and anything that stood in their way. Blood and bodies everywhere there was, and a voice crying out for Sid to save us in the midst of it all. Never forget those cries, try as I might.
You're our leader now, Clive.
Oh, you won't let anything like that happen again? Promise me that come what may, Sid will save us.
We won't hear me complaining.
It's even roomier than the old one was. Got my own stores, my own little counter. Thanks to you lot fighting a good fight, plenty of demand for my
The
wares.
only drawback.
The constant bloody racket. If it's not Doris and Otto barking their orders, Blackthorn and Bardolph banging away day and night.
Still,
If a pain in the ear holes the price have to pay to be Sid the outlaw's partner in crime, I'd say I've got myself a bargain.
if
Alright.
you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
5 years later and you're still selling this trash? Okay, here's some new stuff. Chandler's Whispers. Maintaining an ethereal charge can prove as deadly to a bearer as unleashing the magic itself. These earrings are believed to assist in channeling the aether by reducing the amount drawn from the body and augmenting it with the ambient aether from the environment. Automatically charges magic spells and maintains the charge until cast. As should effect will not trigger unless the ability to charge magic is earned. Ooh, that's interesting. That is quite interesting indeed. Crimson Tassel. Crimson is the color of the blood that feeds my rage. Additional battle invocation. Increases limit break gauge generation by 3% when dealing damage. Increases limit rate regeneration by 6 when taking damage. Cold battle is the color of the blade that feeds my pain. Ooh, I wish I had more accessory slots. I really want this Chandler's Whisper.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
More very pricey.
You'll not find a better price.
I
than
see an elixir. Instantly restores all HP. Affluent nobles obsessed with finding the secret to eternal life have created an unprecedented demand for this quality herbal concoction, heretofore rarely used outside of battle. As such, its asking price has bloated to so great an extent that few soldiers can actually afford it.
Finished, are you?
That one have blood on it.
Have we any more in the book?
There's that thing. There's our blacksmith.
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new shipment's just arrived.
There's Clive's chambers. Raid of the day Clive pledged his alliance to Cid. This crystal shard, and fixed with twin daggers, is a powerful reminder of the promise made, friendship forged, and a legacy inherited. Looks like I've got some filling to do. Where is my blacksmith? Oh, there you are.
Clive? You've forgotten already? Because I haven't.
It was a right pain in the ass getting this place into shape, especially with the mess we were in. Not that it was anything new for those of us who put the whole hideaway together.
Still.
That don't mean I intend on doing it again.
What's that for you, dear?
Alright, so I can make 11 bolt. That's a plus 10 in damage.
Should last you a good while. That it?
Actually, can I upgrade 11 bolt?
So, will it be?
No.
Anything else?
Oarsman Harpocrates.
That is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
On gods and men. A heavy leather-bound tome containing the findings of one Anaximander of Naver, renowned theologian. His mountains of his life chronicling Galicia's diverse religious history.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same, but alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head, but without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kubo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others. and the wounds that remain. They are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Nap time for Clive. Oop, never mind.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Otter stole us. All right. I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
Oh yeah, I forgot to comment on how Clive seems to have removed his brand.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
I suppose now we know how and why. Well, obviously why, but how. It's just something that can be surgically removed. The reading table. Reports, letters, and other important missives addressed to Clive are delivered to the reading table and into chambers. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check the reading desk upon returning to the hideaway. The Republic's play. The Republican army marches to the Empire at Twinside, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I'll see you're done to wear upon my return. Gav.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance. The one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We are trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does.
To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
Meanwhile, the Northern Territories. Looks like Joshua's still okay. That's good.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
You could at least drop Clive a letter.
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
The gathering storm.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
They don't say. Did Martha leave willingly or was she captured? That's the most important question right now.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastport, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. I know it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
A couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
New quests available. I don't see any side quests here in the hideaway. Yet it says there are. Down the left. Down the left.
Finish with that long sucks it. Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rock for a moon or so, assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
What's that green thing?
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Caulk and Brawl. Speaking of, I need to check out my abilities as Remove. See what's to my liking. Lightning Rod. Alright. So Thunderstorm takes a while to warm up. That's the Blind Justice. It's the Pile Drive. Judgment Bolt. If only I had the points. Looks like the ones in the bottom are the ultimate moves. And I suppose I'll get used to Remove's moveset in the meantime.
Easier than felling a forest, I said. Trees don't have teeth.
Yeah, that's true. Trees don't have teeth. Ow. Alright, I forgot I was on ignition. 48 XP, 24 ability points. That's a level. 25. 1774 HP, 257 attack, 155 defense, 257 stagger, 62 strength, 65 wit, 62 will. There's my pitcher wax, some sharp things, and some magic dash.
Can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Wonder how long it'll be before this thing flies. Although I suppose there's the outside possibility that we find a second airship.
Finish with that log, Sid. Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
Ugh. Reeks like a chocobo's arse. Well, I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? So your boat has a name? I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as my old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the Blight came. The boat's all I have left of him. And thanks to you, he'll sail another day.
So what are those green star points? Oh, a better batch of might. Increases by 12. What is that green currency? Now then, do I do the badge of might or the channel's whisper? I'll try the whisper.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
You're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
This looks quite bad.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Culling does indeed sound quite bad. You're giving me more of that green currency. What is it?
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Right, you are, Clive.
Anything catch your eye?
So it's not in Gil.
Pretty well.
Oi, look sharp!
When did this come in? Hello, Turgle.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
It seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
Clive is rightfully mad. This is bad business indeed. Wait, you're still alive? Wait, where did you come from?
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long. Is that all of them?
I think so.
Dark clouds gather indeed. Alright, bastards. Deuce's gouge cooled down by 3 seconds. Not bad, but meh. Gouge's cooldown's already short enough, I reckon.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. Blood will return. The killings will continue. Rosaria will never be safe unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg his aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Where are you? In here. We found a survivor.
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Arthur said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
We're at the 45-minute mark. I'll end the episode there. We'll perform the casting next episode. Until then, remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and if you be so kind, get off my lawn, you filthy casuals.